What the hell is up, YouTube? This is your boy Bearded Kingface, aka Essential, here to offer up my thoughts on Joseph Kahn's Bodied. Let's get right into the content. Bodied. What does that even mean? Well, if you do follow rap battles or the rap battle scene in general, then you know that once someone gets bodied by another opponent, they've placed you in a body bag. You are destroyed, demolished, done. The other person is the victor. Now, the movie, of course, is directed by Joseph Kahn, who we've seen many times before as well. He's a Korean-American music video and film director. He's worked with Lady Gaga, Jennifer Lopez, Kylie Minogue, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Christina Aguilera, 50 Cent, and the list just goes on. Of course, the film is also produced by none other than Eminem. However, the actual screenplay was written by Alex Larson. Now, the whole plot of the movie is loosely based on his life, and when I say loosely, I mean very loosely. Alex Larson, aka Kid Twist, is most popularly known as one of the battle rappers from the King of the Dot Battle Rap League. He's performed side by side with Organic in the past. Organic, of course, being one of the main founders, along with Ryan PvP, of King of the Dot. Now, for those of you that don't know what King of the Dot is, it is a huge battle league that started up right here in Toronto. Ryan PvP, Organic, Toronto boys, well, not necessarily Toronto, Organic's from Bolton, worked most of his life as a steel worker until working on King of the Dot full time, just because he's done such a great job and it's completely flourished. Now, Organic himself was actually a battle rapper as well, and he still does continue to battle here and there for King of the Dot. It started out back in 2008, and let me tell you, it was crazy to see this thing actually start up. So most of you already know I'm from Toronto. I used to actually attend a lot of these King of the Dot battles. I remember way back when they were just doing the volume numbers. But yeah, Yonge and Dundas Square in Toronto, that's kind of where we have the big New York kind of feel in our downtown. They couldn't get the rap battles popping off in Yonge and Dundas Square, then they moved over to an alleyway. So that is as hip-hop gets. Surrounded by graffiti, next to a radio station that used to be called Flow 93.5 at the time, and it just took off from there, and it's everything after that is history. Now, Alex Larson, again Kid Twist, who's actually the screenwriter for this movie, is actually a writer. He graduated from York University over here in Toronto, and it's one of the things that people used to kind of pick at him for, especially in rap battles, about his writing, and the fact that they were comparing his writing and his books sort of to like Detox, because we didn't really know when any of that material was coming out. Well, at the end of the day, look who got the last laugh. Not only was he the first champion of King of the Dot to actually hold the title, but now he has a movie produced by Eminem. Like I said originally, this is loosely based on Alex Larson's life. The protagonist, or antagonist depending on how you look at it, is played by Calum Worthy. He plays a character named Adam who's in grad school, and his thesis revolves around rap and rap battles in particular. He becomes completely obsessed with it, and he actually gets this competitive drive and starts participating in rap battles after a few events that kind of set in motion. There's a whole slew of battle artists in this actual movie. Of course, Disaster plays the main antagonist in this movie, as well as the initial trailers that were released last year. We have Dumbfounded, we have Loaded Lux, we have Hollow the Dawn. I believe Madness is in there, Immaculate, Thesaurus, Organic is also in there as well. Oh, and Sharon, he has a hilarious cameo that occurs early on in the movie after one of the rap battles. I had the privilege of actually seeing this movie last year when it was released in September of 2017 for the Toronto International Film Festival. The initial trailers at that time, very different from what I saw on YouTube Red recently, because I know everyone's just kind of hearing about it right now. It was about a minute and a half of this lyrical onslaught from Disaster's character, completely demolishing this kid in glasses, the nerdiest kid you can think of. And believe me, this movie is not intended to be politically correct. Now, Eminem's involvement in this is very interesting to say the least. You know, in terms of the big screen, we know Eminem mainly for 8 Mile, which is a movie completely revolving and loosely based around his own life, growing up in Detroit, and the rap battle scene. Now, what you see in Bodied and what you see in 8 Mile, night and day, and I think that's really a symptom of rap and hip-hop becoming so much more acceptable and accessible for so many different diverse groups in the world, whether we're looking at economic brackets or ethnic groups. While 8 Mile was a lot more gutter and a lot more inner city, so to speak, and revolved around, you know, lower income, Bodied is a completely different situation, as it encapsulates what we actually see in terms of the demographics of rap battles now. They no longer necessarily take place in the hood. They could be in an affluent neighborhood. The people you have are the type of people who you don't expect to be into hip-hop or battling, and they're the ones sometimes who might be killing it. And that's sort of what's happening with the character here. Now, I don't want to get too much into what actually occurs in the film, but I can tell you that it is excellent. Amazing movie. Definitely recommend it. I really want each and every one of you to go check it out, because it is a reflection of what we can expect from rap battle and that whole scene in today's climate. Now, climate is a very interesting word to use here as well, because one of the things that this movie tackles is political correctness. How can you have such a visceral, vicious sport that is no holds barred essentially, and there's no words ever held back? It is as disrespectful as possible. How can you have that thrive in a world like today, where we really have to be mindful of the things that we say and whichever group we might potentially be offending with our speech? I think they did a really great job with commenting on that throughout this film. You really need to watch it to understand and see everything that's going on and take really an appreciation for it. To me, this is as close as we can get to having an 8 Mile in 2018. Now, while I watched this at TIFF last September, I was fortunate enough to be around when they had the Q&A session. Of course, naturally had to raise my hand, give him a shout out for, you know, his contributions in the battle scene and everything that he's done, because I have watched a lot of his battles in person. I'm a big supporter of King of the Dot, and I love what they're doing, so shout out to everybody over at King of the Dot first and foremost. One of the questions that I asked him is whether or not he had experienced the same level of resistance coming up, knowing that his videos, such as these rap battles, completely politically incorrect, are out there on YouTube, you know, for everybody to watch, and he's going through school at the same time. So knowing that the two schools of thought, no pun intended, are completely in conflict with each other, did that ever interfere with his academic and professional life? Well, I'm not going to spoil that, not going to spoil how the movie actually pans out. I thought it was a great commentary on today's society. I'm really excited for everybody else to get a glimpse at this movie. I think I'm actually going to watch it again, since I really did enjoy it. The audience loved it. Huge round of applause at the end of the film festival for this movie. The writing was great. The actors all did a great job. The battle rappers were just being battle rappers, so it fit in naturally. The plot actually worked out. It had a very good storyline, and it just made sense for today. Oh, and the battles were intense and disrespectful, to say the least. It has a huge approval rating. I think it's at 90% right now. Take it from me, you need to check it out. Anyway, YouTube, this has been Bearded Kingface, aka Essential. Those were just some of my thoughts on the movie. I definitely recommend you check it out. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so my videos end up in your feed. Leave a comment. Let me know whether or not you've actually seen this movie already at the International Film Festival, or if you actually do plan on seeing it, whether that's on YouTube Red or in theaters. And until next time, peace.